Benvenuto al famoso Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari.
What in the upside-down roller coaster of nonsense was that? It's nice to know you sound like an idiot in multiple languages instead of just one. Can you do that again in English, please?
Okay, fine. Welcome to the world-famous Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, also known as IMOLA. I am Skippy McThrottle, and this week the GoRacing Sim League travels to Italy for their 5th race of the season. Unfortunately, with me, as always, is my co-host and former lawnmower racing champ, Billy Ray Burnout. Billy Ray, can you tell us a little about this track?
I'm going to mow your wife's lawn when I get back to the States. IMOLA, officially known as Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, is a legendary 4.9-kilometer, 3.05-mile circuit in Italy, famous for its fast technical layout and rich motorsport history. With challenging corners like Acque Minerali and Variante Alta, it demands precision and skill. Once a staple of Formula One, it hosted the San Marino Grand Prix and now features in modern F1 and endurance racing. Known for its old-school feel, elevation changes, and unforgiving nature, IMOLA remains a true driver's circuit.
Billy Ray, can you walk us through a lap on this historic track?
Does a dog lick its own butt? You betcha. A lap around Imola is a fast, technical challenge with elevation changes and legendary corners. Let's ride along with Ed Adams and observe a lap around the track. You launch down the main straight, the fastest part of the track, gaining speed before braking hard for Turn 1. Turn 1 is the start of Variante Tamburello, or turns 1 through 3, a fast left-right-left chicane. Once a flat-out section, it now requires precise braking and throttle control to carry speed through. Next is Variante Villeneuve, or turns 4 and 5, a tricky left-right chicane where the curbs can unsettle the car, and getting on the power too early can ruin the run into the next corner. Then we get to Tosa, or turn 6, a tight uphill left-hander where good exit speed is crucial as it leads into an acceleration zone up the hill. Turn 7, known as Piratella, is a fast, sweeping left turn at the crest of the hill. Precision is key to avoid running wide onto the grass. Turns 8 and 9 are known as Acque Minerali. This is one of the trickiest sections on the track. A downhill right-hander into a fast, tight right. Heavy braking is required while dealing with a change in elevation. Variante Alta, or turns 10 and 11, is a high-speed chicane with aggressive curbs. Cars that can ride the curbs well can gain an advantage here. A good exit is important as it leads to one of the longer straightaways on the course. The final set of turns is called Rivazza, a double left-hander with heavy braking. The first part sets up the exit for the second, leading back onto the main straight. If you nailed the exit out of Rivazza, you'll carry great speed down the straight and prepare to do it all over again.
Thanks. Now let's take a look at qualifying. Once again, Sam Buck sets the fastest qualifying lap of the day with a lap of 1:41.829. He turned 35 laps during qualifying and averaged a 1:42.343.
Surprise not! Water's wet and the sky's still up. What a shocker. That's less surprising than a politician making promises he can't keep. Sam's not fast. He's just experiencing time at a different rate.
The GoRacing Sim League has raced at this track a handful of times. 3 times, in fact. Lewis Lockshine has won 2 of the 3 races here. Chris Miller is the other to notch a victory at this track.
And our pole winner, Sam Buck, has raced 2 times here with the league and has an average finish of 2nd. I think we are in store for another great Lewis-Sam battle to the finish today.
The safety car is pulling off the track, and the GoRacing Sim League is about to take the green flag of their 5th race of the season. And the green flag is waving. Well, it's not actually waving, but it's out. Come on, put some energy into it, flag dude.
He looked like a statue, if that statue had just been told to be really boring. And the drivers are entering Variante Tamburello for the first time during the race. Can they keep it clean?
They had a clean first lap last race. I have a good feeling they will repeat that this week. So far so good as the drivers snake their way through the first set of turns.
Looks like one car is slightly off in the grass, but overall that was a good start of the race.
Yeah, the drivers do need to be careful. The GoRacing Sim League penalises drivers that have too many off-tracks during a single race. And this is an easy track to overdrive and get off track. A general off-track gives a driver 1x. If a driver gets 16x total, they are giving a black flag and must drive through pit road to clear the penalty.
Speaking of exes, my ex called me the other day for no reason. She is living proof that you can't fix stupid, but you can definitely date it. She had several things in common with a rental car: loud, expensive, and everyone had a turn.
Well, alrighty then. Can we get back to the race and off of your ex?
The drivers are now approaching Variante Alta. This high-speed chicane creates a great passing zone as the curbs can upset the car, allowing the car behind to get a run.
Yeah, it looks like we had several cars run this turn a little wide this lap. Now they are entering Rivazza, the final two turns of the track. These two turns might be the most important due to the long straightaway following the turns.
Yeah, and this straightaway is really the only place on this track where the drivers can catch their breath and relax for a second. Overall, that was an excellent first lap.
Oh, we have a spin on lap 2 in Variante Villeneuve. Looks like it's Daniel Scheffer.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened here. He was following Kevin Rupert pretty close. Looks like Kevin slowed down more than Daniel expected. They barely touched and Daniel went around.
And we have another accident on lap 2, this time in Variante Alta. Looks like John Enriquez spun out on the exit of the chicane.
If that's a spin out, then I'm Santa Claus, and I'm delivering coal to everyone who believes he spun on his own. That was a case of full-on bumper tango. It looks like Greg Sampson flat out drove through John on the exit.
Check out Chris Payne. John went left, Greg went right, and Chris drove through the middle, gaining 2 spots.
Yep, the seas parted for him, and he took advantage. And we have a battle for the lead. Oh, looks like Sam bobbled a little and Lewis took advantage and is now leading the race.
Let's look at that pass again. Looks like Sam overdrove the first turn in Variante Tamburello, and that caused him to slow in the next turn, allowing Lewis to get a good run on him. And on lap 4, we have some outstanding racing between Chris Payne, Frank Appa, Greg Sampson and Kevin Banks.
Check this out. They exit the final turn almost 2 by 2, and they think about making it 3 wide down the straightaway. This is a great battle for the 16th through 19th.
Yep, this is what league racing is all about. Good, clean side-by-side racing.
Looks like Chris Payne comes out in front as they reach Variante Tamburello.
Looks like Glenn McTavish had a solo spin on lap 4 and decided to park his Ferrari and call it a race.
Look out! Brandon Harrison gets sideways in Acqua Minerale on lap 6. Looks like his left side even got off the ground as he was sliding.
He's lucky there is a sand trap there as it kept him from hitting the wall. The cars carry tons of speed in that corner.
Wow! We almost have another incident as Brandon rejoins the track.
Yeah, he and Mike Watts almost slammed doors. That was a close one. Let's look at that again to see if that was a dangerous rejoin.
I would not call that a bad rejoin per se because he kept the car to the left, but it is a dangerous spot to rejoin. Sweet tap dancing llamas in a thunderstorm. What was that?
That's the second time this race we have seen Greg Sampson run into the rear of another car, this time taking out Frank Appa.
He entered that turn hotter than a jalapeno in a sauna and took out Frank on lap 6.
Also on lap 6, we have a good battle with Daniel Scheffer and Ken Schultz. Daniel gets to the inside of Ken and completes the pass going up the hill.
Daniel has a fast car, but he lost all kinds of positions in that early spin with Kevin.
And on lap 7, we have terrific racing between Mike Watts, Brandon Harrison, Ed Adams, Evelio Barrios, Lane Allen, and Wyatt Franklin.
Yeah, we are 7 laps in, and these drivers are tighter than my jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. Outstanding racing for 7th through 12th place. Check this out. Logan Davis is operating at maximum suck-up capacity. He has his nose right up the ass of Mikey Fredrickson going down the straightaway.
He is using the draft to try and make a move going into turn 1, but Mikey is able to hold him off. Lap 9, and we see John Enriquez with a solo spin in Acca Minerale.
Yep, we have already seen multiple cars spin in this set of turns. No harm, no foul this time. Also, on lap 9, we have a close one with Avelio Barrios and Lane Allen in Piratella. It looks like Avelio got loose in the turn, allowing Lane to make the pass. Let's look at this replay from the front for a view of his hands on the wheel.
Oh yeah, you can see him fighting the car. He saved it twice. All right, we are on lap 10, and Lewis Lockshine is still leading the race and the Pro Series, but Sam is still right on his rear.
Sam's on his tail like a GPS with a personal vendetta. This is a great battle for first place. And currently, Avelio Barrios is having a strong run and leading the amateur division on lap 10. Check out the paint job on his car. Man, it's pretty, but it's bright. That car is so bright, my eyes are doing the squinty cha-cha.
The squinty what? You don't always have to say the first thing that comes to your mind, you know?
You know you love me. Want to go to the spa and sauna together after the race?
Absolutely not. Moving on lap 11, Brandon Harrison makes a move and completes the pass on Mike Watts. Looks like Mike tries to fight back, but Brandon holds the position.
And on the very next lap in the same set of turns, Brandon hits the turtles and spins out.
I think he lost his bumper.
It looks like he overdrove the first turn, and this caused him to enter the next turn way too tight. He hit the turtles and got airborne. He got so much air, he's probably getting frequent flyer miles.
Check out this great reaction and driving from Ed Adams. He got an off track but kept his car from getting damage. On lap 14, we have Ken Schultz and Greg Sampson fighting for 19th.
Yeah, these two have been racing hard for several laps. We have seen several drivers use the draft to make a pass going into one, but this time Ken is able to hold Greg off, and Ken keeps his position. On lap 14, we have a battle between teammates. Shane Papala gets a better run out of Acque Minerale and is able to get alongside Kevin Rupert going into Variante Alta. That's a tricky place to make a pass, but the two drivers keep it clean, and Shane gets the position.
And we have a battle for the top amateur position. Wyatt makes a move on Avelio going into turn 1.
Oh, and Wyatt spins. It looks like there was some contact in the apex of the turn. Wyatt spins, and Avelio had to go around the turtles.
Yeah, that was very light contact. I am surprised it caused Wyatt to spin. From a view above the cars, you can see that this was simply an issue of two cars going for the same spot.
Yeah, that was a racing incident.
Looks like drivers are starting to hit pit road. We are about 28 minutes into the race at this point.
Either Lewis faked going to pits or he changed his mind, but either way, Sam decided to go ahead and service the car. A lap later, and our race leader, Lewis Lockshine, decides to pit. It will be interesting to see if Sam benefited from pitting earlier.
We can see Lewis pulling out of the pits and maintaining his lead on Sam Buck. We are now on lap 20, and Lewis is still leading the race and the Pro Series, but his lead is minimal. Only about a half second on Sam.
Lewis is trying to pull away, but Sam has Lewis on a leash shorter than a Chihuahua at a biker rally. And Avelio is still leading the amateur series at this point with about a 6-second lead over Wyatt.
Wyatt had caught up to Avelio, but the incident earlier has created a decent gap between the two. And another car spins in Acca Minerale. This time it is Eric Esri.
Look out! Shane Papala hits the curbs and spins in Variante Alta. He is going to have to get turned around. Oh, and he looses his wing backing into the wall. Jeepers!
It's going to be tough driving around this track without a rear wing. Mercy! Wyatt Franklin has another issue and spins in Piratella. I think he had to check up and lost control.
Looks like the leaders have caught lap traffic. I wonder if Sam can use this opportunity to make a move on Lewis.
He had a small run, but Lewis shut the door.
As we suspected, Shane's Porsche has lost all rear grip with the loss of his wing, and this causes him to spin out and hit the wall, ending his race.
Now we are on lap 30, and Frank Appa is pushing hard to pass Chris Payne. He is all over Chris in Rivazza.
Oh, and he gets in the grass and breaks loose, spinning right in front of Greg Sampson.
And that was a hard hit. Here is a good view from inside Greg's car. And these two have been battling for many, many laps. John is doing everything he can to pass Ken, but Ken keeps holding him off.
Ken can be harder to pass than a kidney stone. If he wants to keep the position, you'll have to work for it. Well, it's Groundhog's Day all over again. Lewis wins his third race of the season and second race in a row. He had to work for this win as Sam pressured him the entire race.
And congratulations to Avelio Barrios for finishing 10th and winning the amateur series. This was a good, strong run for Avelios and his first ever amateur win here at GoRacing Sim League. Let's look at the race results. Lewis gets the victory, followed by Sam Buck. Kerry Cantera had a solid race and finished on the podium in third. Mikey finished fourth and was the only driver to have a completely clean race. And Logan Davis rounds out the top five. Matt Cushion, Ed Adams, Mike Watts, Lane Allen, and Avelio Barrios round out the top 10.
Here's the Pro-Am standings. For the Pro Series, Lewis Lockshine is in first, followed by Matt Cushion, Mikey Fredrickson, Kerry Cantera, and Mike Watts in fifth. Kevin Rupert retakes the lead in the Amateur Series, followed by Wyatt Franklin, Chris Payne, John Enriquez, and Daniel Scheffer.
Next week, the drivers of GoRacing Sim League stay in Europe and travel to Germany to race Motorsport Arena at Oschersleben. Until next time, I'm Skippy McThrottle.
And I'm Feel My Crotch. See you next week. Peace out.